They're here, threatening our waterways across the state of Oregon. They may look unassuming up close, but they can take over an entire landscape with disastrous consequences. They're here with no plans to leave. To my left is Rock Creek. To my right is a field of blackberry. This is the confluence of Rock Creek and the Clackamas River, and it's been taken over by these resilient invaders. Invasive species are those not native to a particular area with harmful consequences to the native species already living there and the ecosystem as a whole. They come in many forms. They're here with no plans to leave. There are four major ways that invasive species are harmful to our waters compared to their native counterparts. The first is shade. I'm standing next to a native alder tree in a thicket of invasive blackberry. The alder tree, clearly taller than the blackberry, provides way more shade to the surrounding water. And the shade is essential because it cools the water, and cooler water is better water because it has more dissolved oxygen, essential for the organisms living in the water. The second major reason why invasives are harmful to the water is their root structures. This is a blackberry root, and it's much more shallow than the root structures of native species, which is important for a variety of reasons. First, the shallower root system filters less pollutants than the more deeper, complex roots of the native species. Invasive species, such as this blackberry, create a monoculture in the environment, which means there's only one root level attempting to hold the soil in. This makes for more erosion and more sedimentation into the waters. The third benefit of native species to invasive species is large woody debris. When these large native trees die, they may fall into the stream, a process which provides habitat to the aquatic organisms living in the water. Additionally, this large woody debris slows down the water, making erosion of the banks less likely. And the fourth benefit is food and shelter. A monoculture of invasive species only allows for one source of food and one source of habitat for the local wildlife. A diverse native population allows for multiple sources of food and multiple sources of habitat for the wildlife. How can we wrestle this seemingly hopeless landscape away from the control of the invasives and return the stream and surrounding ecosystem back to its healthy state? Well, that's the problem we're here to solve. Planting native trees and shrubs. Then we help protect and maintain these native plants in a variety of ways, such as coffee bagging and mulching, to help it retain water and to protect against encroaching invasive species. And removing invasive species. At Solve, we and our volunteers remove invasives with our hands, root by root, to avoid pesticide use and to feel more connected to our environment. Let's go get them. All of this restoration work is done with the hope of improving the health of the watershed and overall ecosystem for you, me, and every organism living here. And that's a wrap.